Like to call the meeting to order. Like to ask Jamani, will he come up and lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Go to the microphone right there.
Mike, all right. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I remember that young man. He was a newborn. That takes us to 1.3, approval of agenda. Move.
Second.
So moved in second. Vote, please.
President Tillman.
Mrs. Alexander.
Aye.
Miss Victoria.
Aye.
And Miss Rosenblum, right?
Correct. Aye.
Thank you. That brings us to section 2, special presentation. Teen music presentation. Richardson Prep teacher Brian Wing and members of the Teen Music Workshop will provide a brief presentation to the board.
Good testing. Thank you very much, Danny Tillman. Good evening to the school board members and to the San Bernardino City Unified School District staff and students. I'm Reverend Veronica Martindale, and I have been the San Bernardino Teen Music Workshop and Soul Point parent for 10 years. We are so proud of our students' accomplishments. 15 years ago, the San Bernardino Teen Music Workshop and Soul Point started with just a few students taking guitar lessons. Now we are requested throughout our district and throughout Southern California to provide quality and professional entertainment. And now my son, Jamani Chess, will express our gratitude for all of your support and your encouragement.
Good evening. I am Jamani Chess, an alumni student of Cajon High School, a 10-year TMW and Soul Point performer, and now a staff leader that teaches the next generations. Our director, Brian Wing, Peter Yamas, and our entire TMW and Soul Point band would like to thank each and every one of you for making it possible for us to have our practice space, transportation, and internship positions. It is because of your support, TMW and Soul Point have been able to routinely open shows for groups like The Temptations, Tower of Power, The Fifth Dimensions, The Spinners, Tierra, Malo, The Delphonics, and Ambrosia, just to name a few. Now, I would like to turn the mic over to our TMW students. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Danny Cochran. I currently attend Cajon High School, and I'm going into my sophomore year. And I have always had a deep passion for music ever since I was little. So Teen Music Workshop has been a great space for me to just evolve in my music career. So here's a brief a brief highlight video of the program.
And coming to you from San Bernardino, California, please give a warm welcome to the San Bernardino Teen Music Workshop.
For Soul Point, the Motown Tribute.
Please welcome the San Bernardino Teen Music Workshop. Give it up for Soul Point!
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Grace Serrano, and I am 13 years old. I go to Pukuma Middle School, and I have the honor of being a part of Teen Music Workshop. Here are some of our accomplishments and exciting performances we've done this past year. We opened up for the Temptations at the Saban Theater in Beverly Hills in 2023. Induction into the California Music Hall of Fame in 2024. Selected as a Disney Summer Resident Performance Group from 2014 to 2017. Selected to perform at California State School Board Association Conference in 2020. Selected to perform at California Parent Teachers Association Conference in 2024. Funded by the Guitar Center Music Foundation, Diodario Music Foundation, and the NAMM Foundation. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Grace Purba. I just graduated Cajon High School, and I will be attending Cal Baptist University in the fall. And I've been a part of this program for the past 4 years, and here are some of our highlights. So we won the National Popular Vote for the National Association of Music Merchants as Best Teen Band in America in 2015. We performed at the San Diego, Orange County, and LA County Fair. We recently performed with Plain White T's, Cody Lee, Tiffany, Frank Stallone, Berlin, Thompson Square, Rick Springfield, The Village People, and Evelyn Champagne King. We were invited to open for the Temptations again at the Libby Bowl in Ojai, California in September 2024. Some of our annual district performances include the Making Hope Happen Gala, reclassification events, the Pride event, and the Back to School Extravaganza, just to name a few.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn Rodriguez Walker. I'm going to be a senior at Cajon High School, and I would like to thank some of our proud sponsors that include the Guitar Music Foundation, the Children's Fund, San Manuel, and the Diodario Foundation. Thank you.
Good evening, all. My name is Lillian Neal. I am 16 years old, and I currently am a junior at Cajon High School. I've been a part of the San Bernardino Teen Music Workshop for 4 years now. Over the past 4 years, I have gotten the opportunity to perform all over Southern California. From community events like the San Bernardino Orange Show Fair to sharing a stage with the legendary Temptations, nothing could have prepared me for April this year when we had the honor of being the first school performance group to be inducted into the California Music Hall of Fame. While backstage, we were able to meet many rock stars that are sure to inspire us on our musical journey. And here are some highlights from our Hall of Fame show.
But you can tell right now, Reverend B has got to be the coolest person in the room, right? When discussing who should have the honor of inducting this program, it was a unanimous decision, Reverend B. And here she is, aglow, as I told her earlier. Thank you.
What a wonderful evening it is tonight, or this evening. Are you guys enjoying yourself? Well, again, I'm Reverend Veronica Martindale, and I am the San Bernardino Teen Music and Soul Point Parent Manager. And 15 years ago, the San Bernardino Teen Music Workshop was working with just a couple of kids playing the guitar. And as they progressed to get better and awesome, they started opening up for groups like the Temptations, Tower of Power, the Fifth Dimensions, the Spinners, Theater, Malo, the Dephonics, and Ambrosia, just to name a few. And I have my son, which I'm very proud of, and he's going to be here with me, Jamani.
We would like to acknowledge some of our members from the San Bernardino City Unified School Board District, Mr. Scott Wyatt. He's right there, I see him. And Miss Felicia Alexander. And if you guys would like to, can you guys please stand? And our San Bernardino Superintendent, Mr. Mauricio Orellano. And also the San Bernardino County School Board member, Dr. Gwen Dowdy Rogers. And I'll acknowledge our 7th Ward City Councilman, Mr. Damon Alexander.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Soul Point!
We're gonna play a little bit of soul music for y'all here today. You hear that? Let's have a good time today!
Now,
Hi, my name is Miles Gutierrez. I just graduated from Cajon High School, and next year I will be attending Cal State Long Beach to study music composition. I've been a part of the Teen Music Workshop program. Thank you. I've been part of the Teen Music Workshop program for the past 6 years and working as a student intern teaching guitar for the last 2. I have one of my talented students, Haley, here to present a gift for our superintendent.
Hello, everyone. My name is Haley Ruiz. I'm a sophomore at Cajon High School, and I've been a part of TMW for almost 2 years now as a guitarist and a singer. So today we just want to give a gift to our superintendent for all of the support he's given our program for this past year, and just present a special gift for him today. So this gift is a guitar from the California Music Hall of Fame, signed by numerous icons in the music industry and entertainment business, such as Jane Salone, Frank Stallone, the Cowsills, Bob Eubanks, and the iconic Tiffany. We hope you enjoy this truly unique gift.
Hi, my name is Isabella Rios. I'm 13 years old and going into the 8th grade at Pacuma Middle School, and I have been attending Teen Music Workshop for a little less over a year now. At this time, we would like to present school board members with some prepared gifts we have brought in for you guys.
Dr. Wyatt?
Well, thank you, President Tillman. I didn't know if they were done with their presentation.
Talk while they're presenting, if you don't mind.
Oh, absolutely not. But no, first of all, to our students, amazing job. I've seen you guys perform many, many times. And guys, some of you since you're probably a lot younger. I know when my son and daughter were both in middle school and participating over at Richardson with Mr. Wing and Mr. Yamas, the first performance I ever saw when my daughter was in 6th grade, it brought tears to my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe the talent of our students at such a young age. And many of you have matured and grown into young adults and continue to do amazing things. And like you said, at the Guide of Music Hall of Fame, California Music Hall of Fame, what an incredible honor, and the first high school to ever do that. So, and I tell people all the time, that's the type of students and talent we have in our city. So don't ever let anybody say anything different about you when they say, oh, you're from San Bernardino. Say, you're darn right I am. And I'm proud of it because the talent in this city is second to none. And congratulations and great job.
Mr. Husky.
Oh, wow. You guys are just so amazing. Every time I see you, it just makes me so happy. I don't know if you know, but I am a daughter of 2 San Bernardino City Unified School District music teachers, 1 choral and 1 instrumental. My mother in the 70s had the Cardinal City Singers, and Mr. Tillman knew her well. And so I always kind of watch everything through their eyes, and I didn't get any of their talent, by the way, but I watch everything through their eyes. And I just want to say congratulations, Ms. Wing, and everybody. Like, you guys are just so amazing, and I just love every single time. And I love the passion and how the fine arts and music continue to shine through you. And in some way, I also think my parents shine through you as well, because I know that their dedication to music in the city for all of their lives. So thank you very much for being here tonight, and thank you for honoring me with and all of us with these gifts of your voice along with and your musical talents.
How many of you all started playing an instrument in one of San Bernardino's elementary schools? And the board has been committed to that, and all districts don't have that, but I've been on the board for 29 years, and we've ensured that actually the music program came back at the elementary schools when I first got on the school board. And for me, it was an easy thing because I was a musician and started playing the drums in elementary school. At that time, we would have an instructor come to the school, and then once a week we would go to the middle school. We would all play in the band at Arrowview, but all the elementary schools throughout the district would get bused there to Arrowview to play. And because my family had a lot of money, all my traveling took place through band, because we had marching bands, so we traveled all over Southern California. It was a beautiful experience. To this day, I still play the drums in my church, and so I know the value of music, how it will enrich your life and just add to your educational experience. And by you raising your hand, those of you raised your hand that said you started in elementary school, that's what the goal of this board is, to ensure that we give you the resources to show your talents. And I'm proud of all of you. And I know I stopped prematurely in your presentation, so I'll let you finish.
Hello all, I am Alana Mora, and this year I will be a junior attending Cajon High School. I've been here at Teen Music Workshop and Soul Point for around 2 years as a singer.
And again, I'm Jocelyn Rodriguez Walker, going to be a senior in Cajon High School. I've been dancing since September.
Thanks to our numerous opportunities to perform at so many places, we were recognized and granted the amazing opportunity to perform for the Temptations as of January 2023. And this year, on September 12th, we have once again been honored with the opportunity to open for the Temptations in Ojai, California. And we would like to thank all of our sponsors and supporters alike who have helped us accomplish all of these goals.
Our group has proven that with great hard work, all ages can make an impact in the music world. Thank you for your time.
Again, we thank each and every one of you for your support and encouragement. If you would like to attend our next show featuring the Temptations, please email Mr. Brian Wing and he will provide complimentary tickets for each of you to attend. Lastly, we would like to leave you with this. Music is a gift for the soul and the beat of your heart. Thank you so much, everyone, and God bless.
And I'd like to thank Mr. Wing and Ms. Martindale. We really do appreciate the work you all do. Can one of the students tell me what grade can you start playing an instrument in elementary school? Is it third grade or fourth grade? Fourth grade. So I just want to make that announcement to the public viewing. If you have a student in the district, they can start playing an instrument at all our elementary schools in the fourth grade. So thank you again for the wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you, Board and Superintendent. My name is Mary Roan Goodwin, and I'm the Director of Communications and Community Relations. Before I introduce tonight's honorees, I'd like to invite our board members and Superintendent Ariana to make their way to the front of the dais at this time. Executive Cabinet, would you make your way to the ramp over there? I'd also like to invite the Director of Student Wellness and Support Services, otherwise known as SWIS, Colleen Williams. I'd like you to join our board and superintendent for this recognition. Our next special presentations are in honor of the district's highly skilled and dedicated licensed vocational nurses who support our schools each day with the highest level of care, compassion, and professionalism. Honorees, when your name is called, would you please come forward by walking down the ramp to my left, where you see my team member with her hand raised. You'll be greeted by Superintendent Mr. Ariano and the Board of Education. Audience, please put your hands together as we welcome our first honoree, Lindsay Barajas. Our next honoree is Christina Marshall. Please help me welcome Diana Palacios with a round of applause. Thank you. Please help me welcome Nia Palmer. Our next honoree is Latanya Reeves Maxey. Our final honoree is Miss Stephanie Williams. This time, I'd like to invite our board and superintendent and executive cabinet members to return to their seats at the dais. Congratulations to all of tonight's honorees. Thank you for all that you do on behalf of San Bernardino City Unified School District.
Can I have one of the nurses come down and give us an idea of some of the things you do as a daily task? I know I was asking Miss Mary Ellen Grande. She said you guys give shots and help students that have seizures. Who wants to come down and to the microphone and give us a list of some of the things that you guys do every day? Come on down. There you go. That microphone right there. Come on down. Important for the public to understand the extremely valuable work that you all give to our students. You can go to the microphone right, the one right here. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Latanya Reeves Maxey, and I've worked for the district for 17 years. And this is my coworker Stephanie, and we work together at Anderson School, providing services for our students who are mentally.
Get a little closer to the microphone. There you go.
There are students that have a high acuity level of need of care. So what we provide for them are things that they would normally get in a daily living activity so that they can be able to come to school and still continue doing their education at the same time getting the same care they would get at home.
Yes, and some of them come from some of our subacute hospital, and we provide like G-tube feedings. We have students that have trachs, and we have them on vents now that are coming with private duty nurses. And we basically at Anderson ran like a little subacute unit where we did a lot of different services, like what did we do? I'm getting a little nervous here, but I'm not that nervous when I.
You're doing great.
We did G-tube feeding, suctioning, anytime
wound care.
Students that needed medication, anything from if were diabetic and they needed their insulin at a certain time of day. So we're ripping and running. Sometimes we also do, even if you're stationed at a school, you still go to other schools and you provide a service to help the nurses that are in meetings and doing other care.
And I was stationed at Anderson for 17 years. And last summer, I started being an itinerant and working out in the district and servicing other students. And it's been a wonderful change for me. And I feel so good to be able to just give back to the community.
We all can't thank you enough. And I'm glad you came down and told us exactly what you do, because it's good to inform the board and the community of the value that you bring, because it truly is amazing. And you all truly do save lives, and you really do give the parents a peace of mind. So we can't thank you enough.
There's one more, Christina, who runs our clinics and does make sure that the students in the district have their immunizations. So she puts a lot of that together. So, and we all help, but she's the main person that puts it together.
And where's the clinic? Give her a round of applause.
Christina, give her.
Where's the clinic located?
They could be at different schools, so it just depends on what school. And sometimes they do them. They've done them here in the back. I don't know if you've ever seen in the back
Yes,
where
I
they
have.
have the student lined up and stuff. So we do it where we can and where we're able to get in. So.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Excuse me? The support? Sorry.
The sports clinics, they also
Oh,
support all of
excuse
those.
me, I'm sorry.
Mhm. For our middle school and high school students.
And that's where they get their physicals?
Yeah, they're able to get our physicals, and they assist to make sure that all the vitals and everything are taken care of, so that when the doctors come, it goes really quick.
I want the parents to hear that all those services are available here in the district. Thank you very much. The teen music, you're welcome to Leah. I know this stuff gets pretty boring, so thank you.
God bless. Thank you once again.
2.3 resolution in support of AB 2724, high school pupils voter registration. Like to have a board member Chahusky read that for us.
Thank you. On February 14th, 2024, Assembly Bill 2724, high school pupils voter registration was introduced by Assemblymember Eloise Gomez Reyes to amend Section 49041 of and to add Section 51225.85 to the Education Code relating to high school pupils. It was amended by the State Assembly on April 1st, 2024, and has now been referred to the Senate Education Committee as follows. Existing law authorizes the administrator of a high school to appoint one or more pupils who are enrolled at that high school to be voter outreach coordinators as provided. Whereas AB 2724 would specify that the administrator of a public or private high school may appoint one or more pupils at that high school to be voter outreach coordinators as provided, and existing law requires course of study for grades 7 through 12 inclusive with specified exceptions to be prepared under the direction of the governing board of a school district, subject to approval by the State Board of Education, and identifies the adopted course of study. Whereas AB 2724 would change the language to existing law declares the last 2 full weeks in April and the last 2 full weeks in September as high school voter education weeks, during which time persons authorized by the county elections official are allowed to register students and school personnel on any high school campus as provided. Existing law establishes the California School for the Deaf, Northern California, the California School for the Deaf, Southern California, the California School for the Blind, known as the State Special Schools, under the administration of the State Department of Education as provided. And whereas AB 2724 would, commencing with the 2026-27 school year, require the governing board of a school district, a county board of education, a state special school, and the governing board of a charter school to ensure that each of its pupils receives at least once before the pupil completes grade 11 information on how to properly pre-register to vote as provided, and require those educational entities to ensure that upon request of a pupil or a pupil's parent or guardian, a paper copy of a voter registration card is provided to that pupil. And whereas to the extent that this bill would create new duties for local education agencies or local officials, it would constitute a state-mandated local program. The bill would authorize those educational entities to contract with a nonpartisan third-party organization with demonstrated experience providing nonpartisan youth civic engagement to implement the requirements of this provision. And whereas AB 2724 states the California Constitution requires the state to reimburse local agencies and school districts for certain costs mandated by the state, and statutory provisions establish procedures for making that reimbursement. This bill would provide that if the Commission on State Mandates determined that the bill contains costs mandated by the state, reimbursement for those costs shall be made pursuant to the statutory provisions noted above. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District is in support of Assembly Bill 2724, high school pupils voter registration. So moved.
Second.
And moved by Mr. Husky and second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Mrs. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carried. Section 3, public comments. This is the only time the public will have an opportunity to address the board on items not on the agenda and within their subject matter jurisdiction, such as district policies, procedures, programs, services, or fiscal matters. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. 6 or more people who wish to speak on one item will be provided no more than 30 minutes total. Speakers are cautioned that under California law, no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments regarding any person simply because these comments are made at a public meeting. Our first public comment is Alexa Cox.
Good evening, President Tillman, board members, and community members. I'm here this evening to briefly review the results of the 2023 Measure T and Measure N financial statement and compliance audits for you. Our audit was designed to provide reasonable but not absolute assurance based on a risk-based sampling approach. What that means is when we perform the audit, we're not reviewing 100% of the transactions, but we are considering various risks around those transactions when we make our selections. The audit includes both a financial and a compliance component. The financial component is focused on the what we would commonly refer to as like a balance sheet and income statement for the bond fund, while the compliance component is related to the voter approved language in the bond as well as the state constitution requirements. I'm happy to report that for the financial statement audit, the opinion was unmodified. This is the best opinion that the district can receive on that report. As a component of that report, we also review the internal controls that the district board and staff has established. We found no material weakness or significant deficiencies in those areas either, which is I'm also happy to report. Lastly, for the compliance audit, there were no findings in this area. What that means is that all of the expenditures we reviewed were aligned with the voter approved projects, as well as the compliance requirements in the state constitution. During our audit, we did review 93% of the Measure T expenditures and 98% of the Measure N expenditures, so it's pretty good coverage on the expenditures to give you that confidence. I'd like to close by just thanking Mr. Komnick and his Business Services Department for their assistance through the audit. It's always a great working relationship with them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Jerry Kimmery.
Let me get this, Jerry. You don't mind. Good evening. I'm Jerry Kimmery. I'm a special education teacher at Pacific High School. And I came here tonight because of the difficulties that some teachers are experiencing in the evaluation process. To highlight the problems, I'd like to speak about 2 teachers currently at Pacific High School, Ms. Cobb and Dr. Caskey. Ms. Cobb was accused by her principal, Dr. Raimundo, of making inappropriate comments about one of our vice principals, Mr. Ramey, and was given a letter by her. Mrs. Cobb denies the accusations, and notably, Mr. Ramey didn't issue the letter of reprimand. Even more curious was that Dr. Raimundo called Mrs. Cobb into a meeting to discuss the accusations on April 11 and to tell her that she would issue her a letter of reprimand. On April 18, Mrs. Cobb had her final evaluation with Mr. Ramey, in which she received 5 meets and 2 partial meets for her final marks. This means that the overall mark should have been an M, or meets. The meeting had to be continued because it had gone longer than Mrs. Cobb's conference period. Mr. Ramey said that we would finish up the meeting later, that Mrs. Cobb would not have an assistance plan, and that Mrs. Cobb's evaluation was looking pretty good. Mrs. Cobb and I took that to mean that she probably would receive an M, or meets, on her overall evaluation. When Mrs. Cobb and I returned on April 30 to meet with Mr. Ramey and finish Mrs. Cobb's evaluation, her evaluation changed radically. Mr. Ramey said he was giving Mrs. Cobb 4 Ps, 2 Ms, and 1 U. I told Mr. Ramey that we agreed at the previous meeting that Mrs. Cobb should receive 5 M's and 2 P's. Mr. Ramey replied that administrators could give whatever marks they wished, and nothing was set in stone. That these marks were what he felt Mrs. Cobb deserved. I protested that it wasn't fair for him to change the marks from one meeting to the next without any input from Mrs. Cobb. The evaluation process is supposed to be collaborative and not a punitive process, but Mr. Ramey refused to change the marks, so I thought that was very unfair. Dr. Polakowski's evaluation didn't go much better. Dr. Raimundo gave her an assistance plan on September 28 of this past school year. During the second evaluation on December 1, she was told by Dr. Raimundo that her assistance plan would continue in the next school year, even though she had half the school year to go and one more evaluation to complete. Also on her second evaluation, Dr. Raimundo said that for her 5th CSTP, which deals with assessing students for learning, that she was doing better on this CSTP than the last time, but she's still going to give her a lower mark. So she gave her a U. In her observations, Dr. Raimundo, for some reason, keeps saying that Dr. Caskey is not using gradual release, when Dr. Caskey has used it virtually every time that Dr. Raimundo has observed her. The district teaching consultant, Dr. Gregory Van Horn, noted in a glowing review of Dr. Caskey's teaching, and I quote, Dr. Caskey is an extremely organized teacher who is always prepared for her students. She consistently posts her learning target for the day and success criteria to master that target. In my last observation of her class, she utilized an entrance ticket as well as an exit ticket as a formative assessment to determine student learning for the day. At the onset of her lesson, she had various statements read aloud during the learning target, criteria for success, and expectations for student participation for the class. Dr. Caskey asked students to volunteer their answers to the pre-quiz and then utilized a short 10-minute mini lesson for the day to model the balancing of atoms and charges in a chemical equation. Dr. Caskey then had students work in groups of 4 to arrive at answers to similar problems at time intervals throughout the class period. She called on diverse groups to explain their responses. The exit ticket was given near the end of the class. As I stated, Dr. Caskey's organization and planning provided students with focused learning experience. She works her way around the room constantly to determine student understanding and to answer individual group questions. In my brief time with her, she has been able to adapt to student needs by allowing students to retake quizzes and tests, provide grace for turning in late work, and to explore methods to assist students to higher grade levels of grade achievement. I can provide a high level of recommendation for Dr. Caskey's skills and experience as a chemistry teacher. Dr. Van Horn doesn't share Dr. Raimundo's low opinion of Dr. Caskey's teaching skills. On the contrary, Dr. Van Horn is very impressed. The problem that Dr. Raimundo has with Dr. Caskey is not her teaching ability, but rather the number of low grades that Dr. Caskey gives out. Coming from a military background, Dr. Caskey believes it is unethical to give grades that children don't deserve. On the contrary, she wants the grades changed. Dr. Raimundo wants the grades changed, and Dr. Caskey cannot do that. Dr. Caskey should have received an overall M from Dr. Raimundo. Instead, she received an overall U, which is the lowest possible mark. So that's basically. And I did bring some documents in case you wanted to see them. I'll give them to the people over there if that's the proper protocol.
You can give it to Karen Cunningham right there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next public comment comes from Marcus Jinks. Jinks here? Next we have Daisy Gonzalez and Maria, I think that's Rayon or Ayan.
Good evening. We are very glad to be here. We are not asking for anything. We were losing our library at Belvedere, a lady which has shown her abilities and how much she's done for our children. After finding out that she was leaving, the children, the parents, the teachers, we all got really upset. So we petitioned for her to stay. this morning, Dr. Rodriguez allowed us to come, a group of us. We are PTO from San Bernardino. So we came to a meeting. Thank you very much. And we found out that our librarian is staying. So we come here to show our appreciation. We are so glad that we have a voice, that parents, grandparents count on you to discern our needs, and you helped us. So we are thankful. And that's what we wanted to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yes, we're coming from Belvedere Elementary. So we had a situation where we even in 3 days got 300 or more signatures, letters, videos of our librarian. So like Maria was saying, that everything is possible, and we thank you guys. Dr. Rodriguez, Dr. Funches, thank you guys. And also Alexis Jenks.
What is your wonderful librarian's name?
Charlotte Gonzalez.
All right. Thank you very much, and thank you for coming to speak to us tonight.
Thank you.
Those were our last public comments. Section 4, public hearing. Public hearing and approval of resolution conveying easement and real property for use by Southern California Edison. I'd like to open the public hearing. Are there any public comments for the public hearing?
There are no comments.
With that, I will close the public hearing. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves and adopts a resolution to convey the easement to Southern California Edison.
Second.
It's been moved and second. Vote, please. Moved by Ms. Ceballos and second by Dr. Wyatt. Mrs. Alexander?
Aye. Thank you.
Mrs. Grande?
Motion carried. Closed session. This is the time that members of the public are provided provided opportunity to directly address the board about any item scheduled under the closed session agenda. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. Are there any public comments for closed session?
There are no comments.
Thank you. We will go into closed session. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Section 6, action reported from closed session. 6.1, approval of elementary school principal. Be resolved, the Board of Education approved the appointment of the following employees. Rebecca Quesada, elementary school principal, school site, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined. Funding 035. Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Ms. Ceballos. Vote, please.
Mr. Husky? And I need Ms. Alexander.
Aye. Sorry, my video is not working. Yeah.
And we do have Mrs. Alexander. She's been at the meeting the entire time, virtually. Motion passed.
All right, board, thank you very much. Ms. Casada could not join us tonight as she's on vacation, which is a good thing. But we are looking forward to her leadership in the district at the elementary level. She's been with us since 2003, and we look forward to her continued commitment and dedication to our schools. Thank you.
Uh, 6.2, approval of high school vice principal.
So move.
Second.
Been moved and second. Vote, please. Moved by Dr. White and second by Ms. Ceballos. Mrs. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carried.
All right, board, thank you once again. I have the pleasure of introducing to you our next vice principal at Cajon High School by way of Victorville. This gentleman has been working to come on to our district as an administrator for quite some time. We are excited about his leadership for two reasons: loves our scholars in the city of San Bernardino, and then number two, knows how to work well with our educational staff. Board, I introduce to you Mr. Juan Escamilla.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. Superintendent, Assistant Superintendent, thank you for the opportunity. Board members, I wish to thank you. I'm excited to get started, work with Cajon High School, work with Mr. Jackson and the staff, and especially the students. With the magic that they brought with the music, I'm excited to work with that and other programs. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome aboard. Six point three, approval of two middle school vice principals. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approved the appointment of the following employees: Maj Kakish, middle school vice principal, school site, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined, funding 035. And Alex Burton, middle school vice principal, school site, effective date, work year, and salary to be determined, funding 035.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Husky and second by Ms. Ceballos. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander? Mrs. Alexander, you're muted. It's okay, we'll go forward without it.
Board, thank you once again. I have the opportunity, the excited opportunity to introduce to you Mr. Alex Burton, Shandon Hills Middle School Vice Principal. I'm going to let him do the talking. But one thing that he stated in the interview, he said, I am San Bernardino. Just like our scholars here, I am San Bernardino. I relate to these young people. I want to be the support for them. Board, I introduce you to Mr. Alex Burton.
I had to write it down since this is my first time. Board President Tillman, Vice President Ceballos, Superintendent Arellano, and esteemed board and cabinet members. My name is Alex Burton. Thank you, Dr. Funches, for the introduction. I'm honored to be considered for this position as a middle school vice principal. With strong background in education and passion for fostering student success, I'm confident in my ability to contribute positively to our community. As a vice principal, I am committed to fostering a safe and inclusive environment where every student feels valued and empowered to achieve their best. I believe in the importance of collaboration, and I'm eager to work closely with the teachers, parents, students, and community to ensure our students receive the highest quality education. I wanted to, wanted to send a special thank you out to Dr. Torres for selecting me for Shannon Hills. And thank you to the board members for selecting me to be part of this community and San Bernardino Unified as an assistant principal. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
All right. And then the next up, Mr. Maj Kakish as well. Long San Bernardino resident, family, came up in this district as well. We are excited about his leadership at Del Vallejo STEAM Academy. And without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Maj Kakish.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Good to see you guys here, Madam Vice President, Mr. President of the board, rest of the board and cabinet, and Superintendent Arellano. I know many of us have said hello, but this time just feels just a little bit sweeter saying it this way. I'm excited. You know, starting here in San Bernardino, I didn't know where my career was gonna go. Talking with some people in the back, you know, just talking about how putting your head down, doing some hard work, like you'll get noticed, you'll be able to move forward, and that's what I think this district kind of did for me. That's what I'm hoping to push on to the students at Del Vallejo as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting in contact with Principal Maynor and just really setting up a plan for just pushing kids forward, getting them into success the way I feel success right now would be an achievement for me. So good to see you guys. Thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you guys now and in the future too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'd like to welcome Ms. Kakish, Superintendent of Beaumont. Thank you for being here tonight. And that brings us to 6.4, approval of Director of Human Resources, Certificated Recruitment and Employment. Be resolved, the Board of Education approve the appointment of the employee Robert Morales, Director of Human Resources, certificated effective date, work year, and salary be determined. Funding 070.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Sahusky and second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander?
Aye.
All right. All right, board. It's my pleasure to reintroduce you to Dr. Robert Morales, second time around in a short bit of time. Has been with us since 2001. Teacher, support teacher, vice principal, principal at 2 levels, elementary and middle school. Garners the respect and admiration of our staff, management team, and educators. Without further ado, Dr. Robert Morales.
Thank you, Dr. Funches, for the introduction. Good evening. So proud to be in front of you all today. It's an honor to be in front of you, President Tillman and board members. Thank you again, Superintendent Arellano and Cabinet. what a pleasure it is to be in front of you. On behalf of my family and myself, of course, thank you for the trust that you bestowed upon me to continue my 23 years with this district. Not only being a graduate of the school district, but a very proud employee of the school district, and just looking forward to what's in front of us. Dr. Funches, looking forward to learning from you as well, sir. So again, thank you very much, and you won't be disappointed, I promise. Thank you.
Well, you get a promotion about once a month, so we'll see you next month for your next promotion. Congratulations and welcome aboard.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Six point five, approval of coordinator early literacy elementary instruction. Be resolved, the Board of Education approve the appointment of the following employee: Tony Woods, coordinator early literacy elementary instruction, effective date, work year, and salary be determined. Funding 524.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Bios and second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
All right, thank you, Board. Dr. Woods is unable to join us as well as others. She's on vacation. We look forward to her innovative spirit, her leadership. She's been a leader in this district for a long time and has gotten results at every site that she's been at. So I want to thank you for taking action to approve her appointment. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Funches.
You're welcome.
6.6, expulsions.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion passed. 6.7. Students recommended for suspension but deleted from student assertive discipline due to completion of youth court or due process errors.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Husky, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion passed. 6.8, lift readmit of expulsion of students. The Board of Education authorizes the readmission of the following students with identification numbers as indicated below to schools of the San Bernardino City Unified School District in accordance with board rules and regulations and in compliance with the Education Code Section 48900.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Husky and second by Mr. Bios. Vote, please.
Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carried. Section 7, student board members, 7.1, reports. Ms. Chavez?
Good evening, board members and community members. My name is Ana Victoria Chavez, and I attend San Bernardino High. I would like to thank the board for its support for the AB 274 bill, introduced by Eloise Gomez-Reyes and sponsored by ICUC. I would like to share I will be going to Sacramento tomorrow morning to give a witness testimony to the Senate Education Committee in support of the bill. And I'm feeling a little nervous, but I'm excited to go show my support and why it is important to me to have this bill implemented in California. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Represent us well, please. Ms. Rosenblum?
Good evening. My name is Anjanette Rosenblum and I attend Pacific High School. I wanted to give a shout out to the LEAD program that I am doing for being able to run and give us students a voice. The LEAD program is a police held program for people that want to voice their opinion and to see how it runs. And so I wanted to give a shout out to them.
Shout out given. Thank you very much. Section 8, Administrative Report. 8.1, Citizens Oversight Committee. 23-24, Annual Written Report.
Good evening, Board. President Tillman, Vice President Ceballos, Board of Trustees, and Superintendent Ariano. The person for our Oversight Committee, the Vice President, Janie Zalman, is not yet here. I'll be here in about 2 minutes. But the overview of the report is that it's required under Prop 39 that the Citizens Oversight Committee provide the Board of Education a presentation of the 22-23, the year prior, expenditures that were consistent with the bond that we received. If the board would please allow for additional minute or two for that person.
What we'll do, we'll go move forward with 8.2 and we'll come back to 8.1. Mr. Husky?
I thought that was the name of the person that came during public comment and gave a.
She was okay. The two are related. That's for action item 10.5, and that is from ID Bailey, our CPA. They give the bond report audit, and this is the COC that would precede that.
Okay, thank you. I was confused, so I appreciate the clarification.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, President.
No problem. We'll go back to 8.1 when the presenter arrives. 8.2, California School Dashboard Local Indicators Report.
I moved.
It's a presentation.
Oh.
We will make it very quick for you today. This is a presentation of our local indicators as a requirement presentation to our board on the same night as the adoption of the LCAP. And you should have a copy of that report. We'll have our Assistant Director here of Accountability and Educational Technology introduce herself to go over the report.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Susie Keidel. I'm the Assistant Director in Accountability and Ed Tech. And one of the responsibilities I have is to ensure our local indicators are completed every year. These are measures that we report on, we reflect and report on as a district, so it's not a measure that the state provides us, so we are reflective and determining where we fall within these indicators. The first one are basic conditions, so that's where our FIT report falls, which is the Williams case, to ensure that our facilities meet the standard for our students. The second is implementation of state standards. So you'll see in the document we reflect on where we fall with the various standards, everything from ELA to math to our college and career. And then there's opportunity to provide a narrative, to give examples or explain why or why we believe we are, where we're falling. The third one is parental involvement and family engagement. And I worked directly with our categorical team, and we worked with our district advisory committee to get information from our families that participated in that organization or that group. And then we use that information to help us reflect on where we are currently and what our next steps might be. The next one is school climate. So every year, annually, our students take the Panorama Student Survey, and so we use the data from that to come up with where we fall and what our reflection is related to that. And then the last one is Priority 6, which is access to a broad course of study, and that is where we're looking at our various student groups and potentially underrepresented student groups, and reflecting on how are we ensuring that they have access to a broad course of study, so that a student falling in a specific student group has the same opportunity as other student groups. This information was a culmination and a collective effort of our various divisions, where we work together to come up with these reflections. So each of our departments has an opportunity to have a voice within a certain number of characters, so we are limited with how long this document can be. And this information you will find on the California School Dashboard, where you see those gauges, but it's not a gauge. There's just an additional sort of button bars on that dashboard is where this information ends up landing once we submit it. I think that's about it.
Sure. Thank you. Takes us to
There's a vote on this.
section 9.
There's a vote on this.
Oh, there's a
No,
vote.
no vote on this one, Karen. This one is just as presented.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Section 9. Go ahead. Had a question? The presentation is.
Indicators. Sorry, particularly, in terms of school climate, which is, as you know, has been one of my things. They've got to be interested in their seats for us to be able to improve academic achievement and all of that. So I was a little concerned about some of that. So I know, is the meaning piece supposed to be the remediation piece, or how we're looking to try to improve those pieces? Or is that what that's supposed to be? Because I was trying to figure out how to.
So the Panorama Survey is part of our LCAP metrics as well. So in the analysis of our annual update, we look at that metric and the actions that are assigned to it. And then if we see growth, we'll continue with those actions. As we don't see growth, we see drop, then we adjust our actions. So those are found in Goal 2 in our LCAP. So it's something that's a regular and ongoing process. It happens at the school site level individually, at the secondary level, and then at the district level.
Thank you. I was trying to, because this is sort of coming after we got that, so I was trying to put the pieces together, going, where does this fit? So I appreciate that.
So it serves a dual purpose. It's a metric in our LCAP, but it's also a metric used within the local indicator report. So the local indicator report is giving you an update, but the actions actually tied to it are found within the LCAP.
Okay, thank you so much.
Section 9, for discussion. 9.1, discussion and possible, well, here's what I'm gonna do. I wanna take 9.2, which may not have to do 9.1, because we may not make a decision tonight. But at 9.2, we're gonna have discussion and possible action to rename the Welcoming Center. And we're gonna build a list of names tonight. And I'm gonna list the names that were submitted so far. Drs. Herb and Cheryl Fisher, Dr. Juanita Scott, Mrs. Claire Cherry, Dr. Albert Koenig, Dr. Dale Marsden, Mr. James Ramos, my name, Rabbi Hill Cohen, and Lois J. Carson.
This is Grice.
And Francis Grice. Anybody else?
Those are all great names. I just wanted to add one more, or actually two more. Graciano Gomez.
I have a school after him. Oh, but I'm sorry.
Right.
I will say that we have a school named after Graciano Gomez. I mean, you could do it, but
Okay. Oh, okay.
who's the second one? You said you had two, Mrs. Alexander?
Dorothy Ingram. And I do know we have a library.
Dorothy Ingram, Dr. Dorothy Ingram.
That's it.
County Superintendent of Schools has the building named after her also. For clarification, who's Mrs. Claire Cherry?
She was pivotal in early education and ran a preschool at the Temple for years, and she's renowned for her early education systems. And all of her work was done here in San Bernardino, but she impacted early education through, for far-reaching. So she was an educator who, from San Bernardino, who has renown in terms of early education.
And is this list the complete list, or you want to wait and add names to the list? Looking for consensus. Ms. Medina, go ahead.
I think that would be the list. From what I'm seeing or hearing, I wanted to ask you as the president, what were your plans on how to do this? Because I know I have a motion, but I don't know how you plan on doing this.
What I hope to do is 7 of us here, have us assign numbers 1 through no, it's not gonna be 12. No, it's gonna be 1 through, let's say 1 through 10. But remember this, the lowest number is gonna be the one that is the top, ranked highest.
How do you want to do that? Do you want to do that for the next board meeting? Or are you suggesting
That's
this?
what I'm asking you. You can either do it now, or we could give you this list. You can go do it, and then we'll bring it back at the next meeting.
I mean, we're not in a rush. I think it was more just to try to bring it out. I mean, we could look at the names and bring it at the next board meeting. That way it's already jotted down versus us trying to make our own list
All
by
right.
hand.
Also, I would
President
like to
Tillman?
see a paragraph or two about each person. So when I'm home and I'm looking at everything, if that is your person, find a write-up, or for example, Ms. Claire Cherry, find something on the internet so we can be fully aware of what you see. I went ahead and did that for you with my 3, and you might have gotten it already, hopefully. If not, I'll resend
Your 3
it.
are on this list, right?
Yes, my 3 are on there,
Okay.
and Karen sent out some materials that I found about them, where you can read, you can know what I know. And then there's also things I didn't know. I didn't know James Ramos started out as a janitor in our district. I didn't know that. So it does us good to get to know these people. And then Frances Grice, I mean, that was a wonderful thing I read about her. I think she totally deserves a bronze next to our Martin Luther King down at City Hall, at the very least. And I'm going to talk to Helen about it and have her look at that. One day we're going to have a fine City Hall again, I believe. Anyway, so it's a fun assignment, though. This is good. This is great. Aren't we happy? It's going to be fun.
Yes. Ms. Chahusky?
I just had I guess it's more of a process, because this is a really good list of a lot of really fabulous people. I mean, we just have some really amazing people from our community that have given back in a lot of ways, including you, Mr. Tillman.
Yes.
But does it have to be named after a person? I mean, we haven't even talked about if we wanted. I mean, we just decided we are naming it after a person, or
Yes. We're not going to shy away from it.
Okay, that's fine. No,
Because-
I didn't mean it for shying away.
No,
I'm
there was the request has come to put a name on it, And I have no problem doing that.
We can also maybe add as one of the list items, maybe it's not naming it. So I was, and I guess that's a great question. Maybe it could be one of the items, maybe not. I was just bringing it forward because I know before we had several other board members that also were looking at, once we had the Welcoming Center, to name it after Francis Grice. But of course, board members change and shift, and so, but it depends on the board. But I do maybe would like in the future, when looking at the board policy, it's like with, Gil Navarro, as someone that's been advocating disability, we want to look at where, facilities that pertain to that. When you look at Mike Gallo, when it came to workforce development, you look at a building that's more directed to that. I think we should look at, my personal, of course, not for everybody. Look at individuals. This is a welcoming center, family center. This is the work that someone, and this is a large facility, someone has been working within our school district and been working our families and working with our students, someone who's dedicated their, who has history and also may be well known in a way that we can look at. So just to consider, and maybe that could be something that we can move forward with, because we don't want to have someone that's named after the facility that didn't really have a connection with our families, with our parents, with bringing people to our, those kind of things. Maybe even had their children in our school district. Did they have their children in our school district? Maybe they didn't. So then we want to look at individuals that kind of, what this means when it comes to the Welcoming Center or any other facilities that we look at as well.
Yeah. President Tillman?
Yes, Mrs. Alexander.
Okay. I agree with everything that's been said. I just wanted to also ask, do we have to have just one name on the Welcome Center to the in support of what Board Member Medina is also saying?
From a practical perspective, when you start adding a lot of names, it takes away from it, and then somebody's gonna give it a nickname. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna say multiple names on a building. It doesn't. Mm-hmm. I think it takes away from it. This is my own personal opinion. If you're gonna name it, you name it one name.
Right, and so the point that what I wanted to say is if we had three names, but I hear what you're saying as well, but just something to think about in terms of just the overall reflection of what we want our Welcome Center to represent for the city of San Bernardino.
Oh, and I'm assuming that the names that people presented, they presented it from the perspective, knowing that the name's going to go on a Welcoming Center. So this is somebody that, when you hear the name, it kind of gives you the ring that this is a person that's welcoming. And when they look at their history, this is the kind of person that was welcoming, because everybody's not welcoming, but so that's what we want. And we have the list, and so and we decided that we're going to have the list. We have a set list. We're going to give it to Karen to send out, and then we'll number them. Right now we have Dr. Herbert and Cheryl Fisher, Dr. Juanita Scott, Mrs. Claire Cherry, Dr. Albert Carnick, Dr. Dale Marsden, Mr. James Ramos, my name, Rabbi Hill Cohen, Lois Carson, Francis Grice, Graciano Gomez, and Dorothy Ingram. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to number 1 through 10, and the lowest number will be the one that we will vote on. Now, of course, you could vote it down, and then we'll go to the next one, and we'll see what happens at the next meeting. But next is Ms. Chahusky. Then we're going to go to Ms. Grande, and then Ms. Medina, and that's going to be the end.
Thank you. Because I didn't get to finish, I got cut off from my statement.
I never
even
cut
got to
people
do
off,
that.
but
So,
Ms. Chahusky.
so my question about not necessarily naming it after a person, and maybe we name conference rooms or something inside on if there's folks that are related to the departments and things that go inside, is I was thinking maybe something that goes to the history of San Bernardino, or maybe a Native American word for welcome, or something that talks about bringing our welcoming our peoples to our community, as opposed to any particular person, because any person always has pros and cons no matter who they are. So one of the thoughts that I had as we were talking today, and as it's like, we may have the lowest person may not all have ones, right? And so one of the things I wanted to bring for discussion was maybe we look at a word that means welcome or welcoming or family or something that would make sure that everyone that walked in those doors felt a connection and included by whomever's name or whatever name we put on that welcome center. That was just what I was wanting.
I think
to
the
go
building,
there.
I thought we agreed the building is a welcoming center, right? I should just be saying in English, welcoming center. I'm just playing. But welcoming center would be the name if we didn't put a name on it. If we put a name on it, it'd be the person's name, and then welcoming center is going to be on there. Ms. Alexander and then Ms. Grande.
Okay, thank you. I agree. I feel like, we're a unique district and unique city in terms of just the representation of all cultures. And it would be something nice to represent just the multitude of different ethnicities that we have in our district. And I realize that we want to name the building, or it's highly suggested to name it after one person. But even if it's not a person, like Board Member Chahusky said, maybe represent who we are and what we do and what we're providing to the community, and maybe have a word that is more connecting. And I understand what you're saying, President Tillman, that it's a welcoming center, but I just think that we should consider how we're connecting and what we can do. It's similar to like what we do with our goals. Like we have an acronym for our goals. And something in alignment with SB Shine. I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe we can open up the aperture in terms of what we're thinking about in terms of a building that's going to be here longer than any of us.
Thank you very much. Ms. Grande?
Well, for one, I would just want to make sure that we keep it a fun activity and lighthearted, because I don't think this is the last building we're going to build. I think we're going to have a lot of more new buildings, or maybe even renaming of old schools. I'd like to see Mount Vernon named after one of these illustrious names, people here on that myself, but that's just my opinion. But I think it's important, if these are the people that you choose, please let me know what you know about them. I mean, I just learned about Frances Grice a few weeks ago, and I don't know why, because she certainly was. I was certainly around this area for that many years to first hear of it, like years later after her, a few years after her demise, and I'm sad that I didn't get to know her. So I think I look at this as a really great assignment to get to know a little bit more history about all of our people and bring them out again. And I especially like that we mixed it. Some are still with us. So I think that would be a really great thing to have that person or their family still here. And I personally would like to see someone that has a foot in the past, in our present, and our future. That's my personal criteria.
All right, so everybody clear
Thank
what
you.
we're going to do?
What?
We're all clear on what we're going to do?
No.
So Karen's going to compile the list, email it to us. We're going to put the numbers in, get it back to her. At the next meeting, we'll agendize it again, and we'll have the ranking. And we'll have a discussion about the ranking. The lowest, 1 through 10, the lowest number being the highest priority. So the lower the number, then the best, that's the better result. So if you have right, and because I said 1 through 10, if there's people that don't get any, then we're going to assign a 10 to them, okay, or an 11. So for instance, it's easy. You have 1 through 10. So you'll do 1 through 10. When they turn in, they'll have 1 through 10. Whatever numbers they don't have a number by, you'll put 11 or 12 by the number, so you know what's higher than all the other numbers. That make sense? Yes. Yeah. And if it worked out where everybody picked the same person, then their count would be a 7. And that would be the winner. I don't think that's going to happen, I'm just saying. Right, and we will give it to the student board members also to consider. It'll be interesting to see how you guys rank them too, okay? I'm not sure if we're gonna weigh in on, I don't know if they can vote on it because it's an official building name, but yeah, definitely want to take your opinion in, okay? All right, thank you. We're gonna go back to 8.1, Citizens Oversight Committee, 2023-2024, Annual Written Report. We appreciate your time, so we're gonna make sure that we give you the opportunity to present. You volunteer your precious hours to benefit our district, and we truly appreciate that.
I need to push any of this or just talk? Good?
The light should be green, I believe.
Yes, sir.
Yes, thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Ariano and board members. Carrie, hi. My name is Janie Zeilman, and I am the current vice chair of the Measure T and Measure N Bond Citizens Oversight Committee. It is my pleasure to present to you this committee's annual report. I have been on this committee since November 2021 and continue to enjoy seeing how the district has made the most of the bond funds to improve the school environment for the children. I joined this committee with the idea of continuing to serve the community that I grew up in, worked in, raised my family, and continue to volunteer in. Our campuses are the cornerstones of this city. They are well maintained and continue to provide safe facilities for our students, staff, and employees. Being a retired school district employee, I know how hard the classified staff and administrators work to support these campuses and to ensure that they remain positive learning environments. The new buildings and modernization projects are exciting and continue to develop a sense of pride in our community. I am pleased to see that funds are being spent with the students' best interest first, and that's a very positive environment and experience for me to remain on this committee. I have a prepared speech for you all now, and I'll read it to you. The committee is legally charged under the Education Code and the California Constitution with direct taxpayer review of the bond measure and with informing the public about expenditures of the board bond proceeds to ensure that spending conforms to the bond language approved by the voters. I am here this evening to inform the board and the public regarding the committee's findings from the 19th year of the bond program from July 22 through June 2023. The committee has prepared an annual report to highlight our activities for this time period and to certify that the district is in compliance with no exceptions with the requirements of the California Constitution. Specifically, we are certifying that the following three requirements have been fulfilled. Number one, the proceeds from the bond sales were used only for the construction, reconstruction, rehabilitation, or replacement of school facilities, including the furnishing and equipping of school facilities, or the acquisition or lease of real property for school facilities. A list of school facilities to be funded by the bond has been prepared. An annual independent performance audit has been prepared to ensure that the funds were expended appropriately for the projects listed. This information was validated by an auditing firm in their report submitted for the period ending June 30th, 2023. The committee members continue to be pleased with the progress that the district has made in new schools and improving learning spaces for the community school. This is evident in the reimagination of school campuses across our district and continuing efforts across the city to bring vibrant, safe learning spaces for our students and community. The Citizens Oversight Committee members and officers wish to thank the board, superintendent, and staff for this opportunity to serve the taxpayers of the district and to inform the public regarding the Measure T and Measure N bond funds. It is my pleasure to serve the district in this capacity as a member, as vice chair, and I would encourage anyone interested, friends, family, people that you know, retired employees, to please apply for membership to this committee. Thank you for your time. It's good to see you all.
Thank you very much, Ms. Zalman. Really appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
Section 10, 10.1, personnel report.
As presented. Move.
Moved by Dr. White, second by Mr. Husky. Vote, please.
Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.2, adoption of 2024-2025 local control and accountability plan and federal addendum.
Second.
Moved in second. Vote, please. That was moved by Mr. Husky and second by Mr. Bios. Mrs. Alexander?
Aye.
Chavez?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.3, adoption of fiscal year 2024-2025 budget.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Alexander, second by Mr. Bios. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Motion carried. Ten point four, approval of 2024-2025 school plans for student achievement.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Ceballos, second by Ms. Shahusky. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
And Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.5, approval of building fund financial and performance audits report for fiscal year 2022-2023 and acceptance.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Ceballos, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
And Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.6, approval of updated community advisory committee bylaws.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Ceballos, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please.
Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.7, resolution for allowance of attendance of emergency conditions, Shannon Hills Middle School.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Bios, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander? Ms. Alexander?
Aye. I'm sorry if that.
No problem. Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum,
Aye.
motion carried. 10.8, resolution for allowance of attendance of emergency conditions, Indian Springs High School.
So moved.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Medina,
Second.
second by Ms. Ceballos. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander,
Aye.
Ms. Chavez,
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum,
Aye.
motion passed. 10.9, resolution for allowance of attendance of emergency conditions, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Serrano and Chavez Middle Schools and Anderson School.
So moved.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt. Second by Mrs. Alexander. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander,
Aye.
Ms. Chavez,
Aye.
and Ms. Rosenblum.
Aye.
Ms. Grande, Ms. Alexander,
Aye.
Motion carried. 10.10, a resolution ordering school district election for governing board members whose terms expire December 13th, 2024. Dr. Scott Wyatt, Myra Ceballos, Felicia Alexander, and Michaela Mickey Chahusky. Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Medina. Second by Ms. Grande. Vote, please. Mrs. Alexander,
Aye.
Ms. Chavez,
Aye.
and Ms. Rosenblum.
Aye.
Motion carried. Did it pass, Ms. Cunningham? Ten point ten. It passed. Okay, section 11, consent items.
So move.
Second.
I would like to have item 11.27 pulled. Any others? Seeing none, the vote on those, please. Ms. Alexander,
Aye.
Ms. Chavez,
Aye.
and Ms. Rosenblum.
Aye.
Motion carried. Now we're going to vote on 11.27.
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Medina and second by Ms. Chahusky. Vote, please. Ms. Alexander?
Aye.
Ms. Chavez?
Aye.
Ms. Rosenblum?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Section 12, reports, comments by union organizations. 12.1, San Bernardino Teachers Association.
No report.
12.2, California School Employees Association.
No report.
12.3, Communication Workers of America.
No report.
And 12.4, San Bernardino School Police Officers Association.
And no report.
Section 13, reports and comments. 13.1, board members. Ms. Alexander.
Oh, sure. Good evening, everybody. Have a couple of updates. I would like to first congratulate the graduates of Temple Learning Center, TLC, which is with Temple Missionary Baptist Church under the leadership of Pastor Ray Turner. And the teacher is Miss Davis. I'm super impressed. I was able to be the keynote speaker. The students were absolutely outstanding, the graduates as well as the students that were moving up a grade. It was pre-K students, and I was just extremely impressed. The students said their alphabet frontwards and backwards. And then what was very impressive, they all knew the presidents of the United States and did an amazing job. So I just wanted to say congratulations to the graduates, congratulations to the students that are moving from preschool to pre-K, and thank Pastor Ray Turner and Ms. Davis for all that they do for our students. And I really hope that the students that graduate come to San Bernardino City Unified School District. I also had opportunity to go to the African American Task Force to their second session for the year, and was very impressed with the outcomes of just the initiatives that are at play, as well as just where we are with our overall improvement with our African American students. So congratulations to Dr. Will Greer and his staff with ETSA for all that you do and continue to do great work. And I attended the Valdez Education Services event along with many other board members, and very impressed with what they're doing for our district. So it's been some very good engagements that I've had since our last board meeting. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Medina?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge that the resolution and support that we just passed unanimously, AB 2724, the high school pupils voter registration. I'm just really proud that I think we're one of the first in the school districts that has made this resolution. ICUC Youth actually met with Assembly Member Eloise Reyes in hopes of bringing this forward, and it has been successful so far. And so I just want to acknowledge ICUC Youth. They have met with many of us in the school district and board members, but just the fact that we had, I think there was about 30 students just speaking on the different issues, and the student board members that were there, Ana Victoria Chavez, Antonio Hernandez Nunez, and Jimena Preciado, along with Angela, who helps organize the ICUC Youth. So I just want to say thank you to our students who are constantly looking at ways how they can improve with student voices and so forth. So I'm really proud. I just wanted to say thank you to them as well.
Thank you. Ms. Grande?
Yes, so thank you. I'm just really excited to be going to the ICEC graduation for the meat cutters industry. And if Mickey can go with me, that'd be great, right? Okay, so we really like the work that the John Carranza and Raul and Jesus do there. It's just incredible the things that are going on out there. It just makes me so proud. And so I'm excited about that. And I'm also excited next month, I believe it's on, I'm inviting you all on Tuesday, July 23rd at noon at the Elks Lodge. Our very own Dr. Mauricio Aureliano, Senor, will be there to do his Shine speech. And if anyone has not listened to it lately, I just tell you, it gets better and better and better. My heart fills with pride when I hear him, and he's just so great. And so every time he manages to say the same words, but somehow with a little bit different emphasis. So he's quite talented. So please, I will remind you again, your lunch will be free, and it's an excellent meal. You know, I'm a foodie. So it's a Tuesday the 23rd, and that's at noon at the Rotary Elks Lodge. Okay, he will be also at the Kiwanis sometime very soon, but it's a lot smaller venue, and might not have room for everybody there. But anyway, but this one I'm going to remind you again. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Grande. Ms. Ceballos?
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'll just keep it short. I only really just have one question, and it was regarding I don't think that we've received an update, and if we have, I apologize in advance, but an update regarding the positive youth development and the potential position, or they were going to get back to us in terms of any, what was needed for their department in terms of an additional person or two for the bullying intervention. And so I don't think I've heard back from that. So an update would be nice. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Dr. Wyatt?
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll try to keep it brief. Just wanted to give a shout out to our nutrition services team, as they were recognized by the County Office of Ed for recognition of farms and summer programs. I also want to say thank you to our San Jose Unified School District School Police, who helped provide top-notch security at our county graduation ceremony, and that was led by Sergeant Arias. We had about 10 officers there, and Explorer Scout Alvarado. And that is it for my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt. Ms. Chahusky?
First, I was sent some pictures of the dentistry pathway, the classroom. If you recall, when I first came on, I was advocating for us following through on building the commitment to our pathway there. It's almost done. So my question is do we have a date, or are we going to be scheduling an open house or a ribbon cutting for that? If we could get an update on that, because I'm really excited to see that. The renderings, if you never saw them, were amazing, and I just think it's going to be wonderful. And leading from that, I was at the National Innovative Communities Conference, and our Ms. Elizabeth Cackery from Cajon was on a panel on empowering change, transforming Inland Empire health. And they were talking about, the shortage in the healthcare field, and how the school pathways were a key to helping us resolve the healthcare crisis that we have in terms of personnel, not just in the Inland Empire, but specifically to the Inland Empire. And she did a fabulous job and represented us really well. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Ms. Cackery, for what she did there. I also attended the African American Task Force virtually, and what a great job they did. And even for the parents and I who were online, including us, as they went around, they had different stations at the end to try to help update them, and they were able to include the parents that were on virtually, so that they also got to participate and get their questions answered. So I thought that was really good. I want to say kudos and congratulations to Alexandra Madison. I will be at our 19th Youth Court Summit at UC Merced, so I will be unable to attend. But I'm so excited, and I'm so sad that I'm going to miss it, because we all know how much I love football. But I just wanted to make sure that I gave my kudos and shout out, since I wouldn't be there in person, to do that. Two more things. This is our last meeting for our student board members for the 23-24 school year. On July 2nd, we will be swearing in our 24-25 student school board members, which is really exciting. And then they will have their orientation on August 1st and 2nd. We're in the preparation for that orientation, but if any of you might be available to come and present and meet with the kids, if you would let me or Miss Nicole know, so that we can, see how we can use you. But it would be really wonderful if one or more of the board members could come that day to greet the whole panel. And then I wanted to end with, I also attended the Valdez banquet, and I want to give them kudos for a really nice event. But one of the parents there, and I apologize to the mom because at the moment I cannot remember her name, but she was a parent of one of the survivors of North Park, and her daughter was a graduating senior. And we've honored a lot of our kids this year, but it hit me in a really different way because that class we're seniors this year. And so I just want to say congratulations, a special congratulations, and my thoughts are with that class, the class of 2024, that was part of Miss Karen's class at North Park. And so I just wanted to say kudos to them and thank you.
That's for Mr. Arellano and his shine. Everyone has a little light under the sun.
Is that my cue, President Tillman? I appreciate that. Well, I want to, I know it's going to be on there. Yeah, he's setting it up for me. Well, first of all, I want to thank the Board of Education for supporting and passing our LCAP plan today, the budget for the year, and all of the school plans that were submitted today. And I want to thank everyone that's been involved in developing the LCAP, the budget, and our principals at the school sites developing their school plans. Thank you for all your hard work. The district is really gelling. There's a lot of energy, so thank you for those approvals today, board. We take that as a sign of confidence in your cabinet, in your school district, and everyone that's making things happen for our kids. I want to share just a few highlights this evening. We had some award winners that I want to recognize. No Kids Hungry, which is a nonprofit organization, gives an award. It's called the Hunger Heroes Award for organizations or people within an organization that are championing the idea of making sure that students have meals at school and even beyond school. And so I'm very proud to announce that 3 of our employees have earned the Hunger Heroes Award recipient. That is Glenn Woods, who is a nutrition services supervisor, Irma Mondragon, who is a kitchen operator, I believe, at Bingwang Elementary, and Kathleen Delgado, who is a dance teacher at Barton Elementary School. So congratulations for helping our district shine and for all the work that they do to make sure that our kids have nutritious meals to eat, not only during school, but beyond school. Next slide. And then we also have our what's called the One in a Melon Award. And this is done by the U.S. Department of Agriculture for excellence in food services in school districts. And I am proud to announce that the San Mario City Unified School District just last week was given the One in a Melon Award. So congratulations to everybody in the San Mario City Unified School District Nutrition Services. Big shout out to all of them. And that is a great commercial for me to provide and reminder to our community that our summer meal programs are now in effect between now and August 2nd. So aside from June 19th, which is tomorrow, and July 4th, every day between now and August 2nd, there are meals for children that must be eaten there on site. But there's meals for children at the following locations, Monday through Friday, 11:30 to 1 o'clock, at Lytle Creek Community Center on K Street, Delman Heights Community Center on Flores Street, the Rudy Hernandez Center over on Lugo and 2nd, and the Vertimont Center on Little League Drive. So again, these are meals for our kids between now and August 2nd, Monday through Friday, from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. Next slide, please. And as was just mentioned, on Thursday, June 27th, and board, we're going to give you a little more specific information on this great event. But Alexander Madison is going to have his San Bernardino High School football jersey retired, number 22. It'll be on that 27th. It'll be at 6 p.m. on the football field. I know Mary Roan and everyone from Making Hope Happen, Nikki Detman, and the district are working hard to put together this this event for Alexander Madison, which we are proud to do. This young man, he's just a humble individual who gives back to kids not only financially through scholarships, but his mentoring and time during football camps. So he is very deserving of this honor, and so we're looking forward to number 22 being retired and hanging from the rafters of San Bernardino High School gymnasium. And I just want to end tonight by echoing what the board member Grande had mentioned. I had the honor today to present our multi-year vision, SBCUSD Shines 2030, at the Inland Action Committee this morning. So I want to thank Executive Director Carol Beswick and Kevin Dyerly, who serves as the chair of that committee. And I want to thank Ted Alejandre, who did just a wonderful introduction of me. I didn't even recognize myself. It was so wonderful. So I want to thank Ted for the warm introduction. And board, I want you to know that I am out in the community continuing to share our multi-year vision and what we're going to be working on. And what was mentioned already, on July 2nd, I will be presenting our multi-year vision and our operating values to Kiwanis, and on July 23rd to Rotary. And would love to see you there if you can attend. It's been well received, and people are very excited about the energy that we are creating here in the school district. So kudos to all of you and everyone across the district that is helping our community and our school district shine. Thank you very much. That's it for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Ariano. And that brings us to section 14, summary of board members' requests.
Good evening. Our first request is from President Tillman. He requested that all board members submit their rankings to Karen to compile and finalize the ranking. The renaming of the Welcoming Resource Center will be again on the next agenda for discussion. The next request was from Mrs. Ceballos. She requested an update on the Positive Youth Development position and potential staff or any other needs they have. The last request is from Mrs. Chehusky. She is requesting information on a possible ribbon cutting for the dental pathway. And that is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Section 15, 15.1, in memoriam. The board would like to recognize and close the board meeting in memory of Ever James, who began a career with San Bernardino City Unified School District on September 17, 1971, as a campus security officer. She was promoted to campus security officer 2 in 1982 and was elevated to the position of school police officer on 1984, a role she fulfilled with integrity and honor until her retirement from San Bernardino City Unified School District on December 31st, 2001. Her career spanned 30 years of service, and she will be remembered for her dedication and exemplary service, and she was just a beautiful woman. And I never understood how she could be a police officer because she was so nice and sweet. But I guess she knew how to be firm when she had to, but she was just a lovely lady. And so we want to adjourn in her name. A moment of silence, please. Thank you very much. And now entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Meeting adjourned.